Peace and blessings to the tribe. Y'all like, share, and subscribe, man. Remember they said, and I'll be speaking on it. I am Mr. Telescope. You are now watching Telescope Channel. So as you can see, man, I got this photo up here, and I know it looked disgusting, but this is a very, very nasty and disgusting situation. Very, very much nasty word. You know what I'm saying? It's really giving bad breath type vibes and shit like that. This situation has really gotten out of hand. And for those of you that know what's going on, I'm talking about the Anton Daniels and Corey Holcomb situation. Everybody has been, giving their take on it. Everybody from Kwame Brown to Jason Whitlock to Dana with the Data, just to the Star Report, just everybody. Tariq Nasheed even chimed in, and that's what we're gonna be talking about today. Tariq Nasheed actually chimed in. For those of you who haven't watched my last video, make sure that you go check it out. You know what I'm saying? It's about an hour long. I go really in depth why all of this chaos ensued and all of this doo-doo was stirred up. You know what I'm saying? But it came from ultimately, niggas talking to other niggas broads. You feel me? Niggas feeling, a way about another man approaching their lady and coming to the room and talking to their broad. And not necessarily approaching their lady, because Anton Daniels did not approach Corey Holcomb's woman, but rather his woman approached Anton Daniels, which the woman I'm speaking about is D. And that's, for the people that watch 5150, you diehard fans, or you watch, you watch a show, every other week or whatever on Tuesday, that, D been rocking with Corey for a long time. And she really seemed like she's up under his tutelage, his guidance or whatever, up under his arm. And it was said that, D went to go talk to Anton Daniels. She said it was a nice conversation. And even just the look in Corey's face, you can tell that was not took lightly or took well. You know what I'm saying? It put a bitter taste in his mouth. And that's why I think that this whole confrontation was started. That's why the other chick, Mika, got brought into it. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, that's why D was getting yelled at, because it was an underlying tone of, Corey being mad at her. And a lot of people were like, damn, D's trying to break it up. Why he yelling at her like that and this and that? And that's the thing. You never know people's relationship. And Corey even actually mentioned that, where he says, you don't know my relationship with her, or you think you can bring her up, that's gonna, give you some type of validation to what you're saying. You don't know my relationship with her, and then later on said well, he brought that up because he tried to use you as a tool, because he spoke to you, and that's why you don't talk out of pocket with niggas that you don't know. You keep it short. Do you need this tool? Do you need that tool? Or how you want me to get you set up or whatever? Oh, here's your chair, and leave it at that, versus talking to a man that you do not know. And I guess Corey was giving her game online, on air, giving her the ism. But nevertheless, for those of y'all who never seen those clips, and it's going to be a pretty much a shorter video so you can get it in spurts. But for those of you who haven't seen that clip, I'm going to drop that for y'all right now. Y'all check this shit out, man. Remember they said, and I'll be speaking on it, man. Telescope call.
Darlene.
She said no control, but go ahead.
Can you tell us about your good conversation with Anton before the show started?
It was more on a personal level, like me. He asked a couple of questions just about me, and he was really nice, really nice. So it was just personal stuff that had nothing to do with the show or Corey. Yeah.
I mean, that's all part of the game. When a new nigga is around, they gonna work the woman that's around you to see what she willing to go for. Everybody know that.
Well, it started off because I asked him where he's from. I don't know much about the guy. That's my first time ever meeting him.
So you started talking to him, right?
Yeah.
Right.
We were all just standing there. So I think the first thing I asked him was where he was from. Maybe something like that. I can't recall.
Right. It's okay. I expect when other people are around your people, if it's a woman around, the first thing they're gonna do is try to get a conversation with the woman. And then he thought, because I don't know if you know this, he thought he can speak on you with confidence by whatever you said to him. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
So
none of that stuff, I'm not bothered by any of that stuff. It doesn't faze me.
Well, it phases me because he thought that he could speak on you and you knowing me, because he was comfortable enough to talk to you more than, hey, how you doing? Welcome to the show, and all like that, because you had a conversation with him.
But I already think he was pushing your buttons, and that's why I'm like, okay, well, that's...
Of course you think he was pushing my buttons, because you don't have what it takes to understand that whenever you're speaking to a nigga that you don't know, you already out of pocket. You don't understand that.
I do understand it.
So if somebody pushed my buttons...
He was doing that on purpose is what I'm saying.
What'd you say?
I believe he was doing a lot of that on purpose.
He was doing... You said you started talking to him.
No, I'm talking about you, with you and him like buttons. That's what I meant.
It's a lot. Look, let me tell you something. All right, hold on. Let me say this. I am the type of person that people think that they can analyze by pointing a finger. But I've been swimming in the mud. People say this show been going on for 16 years. I've been getting it longer than 16 years. I've been getting it, homie, without no backdooria. No, it's been me. So trust me, people might think I don't know what I'm doing. People might think buttons can be pushed on me. They can say whatever they want to say, but look at the source is what I always say. When somebody says something about me, look at the source, because the source is always gonna show themselves to be talking too motherfucking much. I'm talking to all of the women out there who want to understand that life is gonna put in what you put in it. When a man you don't know is talking to you, you're supposed to be short with him. Especially if you represented in any way by another man, another company, or whatever, because you'll wind up doing work for them and then talking about them later. History will repeat itself. So remember that. I'm talking to all women who don't know, who are not initiated, but are smart enough to listen to what I say. If a man is talking to you, or you start talking to a man, more than, hey, how you doing? Let me get you set up, or whatever, you're setting yourself up. You think you're making the nigga look stupid, but you can never make a real nigga look stupid. You could say, oh, somebody did this to you, or what was it? What did you just say, D? Somebody pushed my buttons? Let me tell you something about buttons getting pushed. Say I suck dick anywhere where you standing next to me. Not from a distance, that's whole shit. Stand next to me and call me out. Because I noticed this happened my whole life. When I walk up on the nigga, they don't do that. And I'm not saying that I'm super tough, but when I walk up on a nigga and say, now say it again, they don't do that. But yeah, men buttons can get pushed. That's how men wind up going to stores and beating up other niggas because motherfucking broad was what she wasn't supposed to be. Remember that. We gonna have more shows like this, but I'm gonna have it where it's more controlled because I already
So, man, there you have it. You see how he was talking to D, you know what I'm saying, Darlene? And, yeah, I mean, obviously, it's very apparent and it's obvious that, you know, he felt the way about her talking to that dude, and that's why he was talking third person. All of the things that he was saying, like, and if you really study psychology, you study, you know, social skills and just how people use verbiage and just like how people dialogue. If you're not an antisocial person, you're not really so much of an introverted person that you don't even talk to people at all, you understand how socialites like Corey Holcomb, who's bumping shoulders with many celebrities and many people at a time and even performing in front of thousands of people, you understand how people talk in third person. Comedians do that a lot, where they take things from their real life and then they project them in third person and talk about them in jokes. So it's nothing for Corey Holcomb to get in that bag. And honestly, he may have some type of comedic syndrome. He may be in a place where he's actually, you know, doing that with his life day in and day out, talking to his friends in third person, talking to his mother in third person, talking to his baby mamas in third person, you know, just kind of doing things in third person, saying things how you feel, but not being direct with people, but also talking to them in third person. In the next video, I'm actually going to show y'all some clips and get into how he got into the whole fallout with, you know, Marcus, which I see, you know, Marcus is doing his thing on Instagram. I haven't really heard about any of his shows, but besides them promoting his shows or them saying that he got a show coming up, haven't really heard about any of his, like, you know, comedic portfolio. But you know, Marcus actually chimed in on this and he had a lot of points to say, because I watched some of the videos that he did. And for those of you who don't know, you know, Marcus actually did a joke on Corey Holcomb when he broke his arm off of falling off a motorcycle. And I'll cover that whole topic in the next video. Right now, we're primarily focusing on you know, why this whole thing started and where it looks like it's going. So in that whole ordeal, all this stuff was really started about women. It was started about a woman, which I felt like it was D. D didn't really have anything to do with it, but her ignorance of not knowing who to talk to, when to talk to, or just staying in line with what Corey said, which it may sound crazy, but, you know, she was been working for this man for some years, and, you know, obviously he gonna hold her to a certain standard. So her not staying in line with what Corey wants, I feel like Corey felt slighted. He couldn't take that. Corey felt slighted. He felt the way about D talking to Anton Daniels. He definitely felt the way about her saying, "Oh, it was a nice conversation," after they had been, had that whole little, debacle on camera. And she wasn't really, taking his side, or just saying like it was a disgusting conversation, or, he didn't have much to talk about. She wasn't downplaying him. She said it was a nice conversation. He's a nice guy. And Corey didn't take that lightly, especially after the confrontation that they had just had. And if you look at Corey's face, you can tell by the body language that Corey did not, take that lightly. He didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? So Corey's get back was to say, well, take that, that B that you with, and this, that, and the third, and get up out of here or whatever. Even to go as far as to act like he was hollering at the female, and having underlying tones of disrespecting the woman and talking about the man's wife and things of that sort. But even before he disrespected Anton Daniels' wife and his child, which I can't really say he went too far. A lot of people is saying he went too far because he brought the kids in it. But there's an old saying, there's no rules in war. You know what I'm saying? And there's also another old saying is that, I'd rather be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in a war. Meaning you got to be war ready when it's time to go to war and know peace. But don't always be about peace and then think that you're going to survive in a war, right? Because that's what happened. I think that Anton probably bit off a little bit more than he could chew, or either that was his whole goal. Now, if that was your whole goal, to go up there to try to get a lawsuit or whatever, which we will get into, that's some, rat bastard type stuff. But nevertheless, I think that Corey probably gave him an alley-oop for probably one of the biggest financial gains and paychecks in his life, and he gonna make content off of it. It's all gonna be content. So you're making money off of content. You getting money for the content that you're making. Talking about this situation has been all over the news and stuff like that, and in articles. And then also on top of that, you're actually finna sue this dude allegedly. That's what it seems like, and that's what it seems like he's setting up the play to do. I won't really add the audio from his channel because he's a pretty weird dude. He might, strike the channel or knock the channels that's posting them and stuff like that. So I don't even want to really put any of his content on my channel or anything that he has to say, but you can go watch it for yourself at Anton Daniels and some of his other platforms. I think it's the $1 Million Morning Show, Millionaire Morning Show, something like that, where he talks about his daughter having distress because of the things that Corey posted and said and stuff like that, and mind you, all of this was about a woman. All of this was about, a broad. It started with D. It ended off with the other broad where he invited her to the show. He invited her to, his genitals and things of that sort. You know what I'm saying? Saying that she got to lay on her back, like everybody else in showbiz to get what she want. And, that is a question. It's in the air. You are already tricking off on Anton Daniels. He lied to you and told you that you were going to get on the 5150 show, and you wasn't going to be on the 5150 show, but he wanted to fly you out and, chillax with you just to have some eye candy on his arm going up there to the show. He probably thought that he could make you a +1 while he was doing his interview, and you can just get some camera time at best, right? But that wasn't, the case, because a lot of people that watch Corey Holcomb know that the circle of people that are around him are kind of like yes men, or the people that he pick and choose, hand pick and choose to be around him. He doesn't necessarily put random people around him. And she's a very articulate sister, so her talking points probably wouldn't necessarily, go hand in hand and mesh well with, his show. But I've seen a lot of people saying like, a salute to Platinum Elite. I actually seen him, scratching the point that, they need to get Darlene off of there. She old, and, they need to put Homegirl on there, Pop Culture Mika. But the thing is with Pop Culture Mika is she's too much of an intellectual and too far right and too conservative. Her talking points are way too conservative to be on Corey Holcomb's show, because if he calls her, the B word just sitting on the side, and she called her straight just sitting on the side of somebody that he didn't like, and their talking points a man, he'll call her a B word every Tuesday. Every Tuesday she'll be getting called out her name. So that wouldn't mesh well. The viewer count and her getting the views probably would be good, but that's not going to be a consistent thing. That probably will only be when drama's happening, and it was a lot of drama happening. It was 25,000 people in the chat. People were watching and waiting and just looking for Corey to, comment back on the situation, which he hadn't commented on in like a week Whereas though you have Anton Daniels making videos for a week straight. So 25,000 people in the chat, that's not a regular thing. You know, Corey normally has 4,000 people in the chat, maybe 5, right? But 25,000 people in the chat was a little excessive because people was waiting on the drama and the juiciness, the gossip, the tea, whatever you want to call it. People were waiting on that. So yeah, it probably wouldn't be a good move for her to go to 5150, but she probably would be bumping shoulders. Like Corey probably could put her around celebrities that he may know, and they might, you know, up the ante and put her around different people that they know. So connection based wise, yeah, it probably would be a good idea. But as far as like reputation wise, morality wise, it wouldn't be a good idea, because the people that's already got their eye on her, she already got a little spotlight on her right now. All she got to do is put out more content and broaden the spectrum. If she goes over there and does that, that makes her look disingenuous. It makes her look like a snake. It makes her look like, you know, she's just trying to, you know, climb to the top. She'll kick anybody down if she has to. And also, I will say this, to Corey Holcomb's point, when it comes to her, she made a video, and this is before his second video, which he doubled down. He really low-key don't really care about her coming there. He was just trying to be on some, you know, belittling Anton Daniels and on some player shit like, yeah, you know, fuck the bitch you came with, whatever the case may be. But he really kind of doubled down and told a woman, you know, straight up, she could lay on her back pretty much, you know, to get on the show or to get where she want to get, right? And me personally, I don't think that, you know what I'm saying, Corey Holcomb would be a good fit for the content that she puts out. But like I said, man, all of this is like, it's war, whether it's social war, verbal war, whatever you want to call it, social media war, physical war, whatever you want to call it. The wars are normally started around and based upon women. The source will always probably go back to a woman. Oh, this guy liked the woman, so these guys had some words, and, you know, shots got fired. Or these guys had some words, and then, you know, social media posters was put up and exposed, and people address, and then, you know, it led to the streets, and then blood was shed. You know, it normally is the woman the base of the root base of the problem. Right? Now, I'm not telling y'all not to go out there and mess with women, man. Y'all get the honeys, man. Get the honeys, man. Don't be stirring in no doo-doo or doing no weird stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like Corey would say, don't be indulging in backdoorian activity. But normally, most of the time, man, the wars are started behind, you know what I'm saying, women. And, you know, when Corey was mentioning, like, I got up in your face and, you know, she was there, she can never, you know, forget that and stuff like that. Or, you know, when he was saying, like, things of that sort, you feel me? Flexing on him or whatever, like saying, like, you know, you can come to the show, you got to get it like this and this and that. That was kind of, you know, exposing his character and what his motive really was. And a lot of people say that Corey was dirty macking, right? And as I said in the last video, you know what I'm saying, dirty macking is a thing. We all know dirty macs. We all done got dirty macked on. If you really been, you know, putting yourself out there, or you really been with somebody, you done had a girl or a dude and your home girl, oh, you know she talking to such and such, or, you know, I just seen her with such and such, you know, or I just seen him with such and such, you know what I'm saying? And so they can kind of get in your bedroom or, like, you know, get you in the bed, right? So dirty macking is kind of like a thing. We all know about it. It's just like, you know, how you go about it. You feel me? It's definitely frowned upon amongst people, because, like, nobody want to get dirty macked on, so they gonna put down the dirty macs. You know what I'm saying? But it was a really interesting situation. Now, I say this to say, like I said before, this situation, it derived from women. It derived around, you know, D hollering at Anton off camera. And, you know, Anton had bought this woman there. Corey initially said that, you know, he probably would never have brought that up if Anton never talked to D, but Corey initially said, like, he brought Anton on because he thought he was a Christian man. He had Christian values and things of that sort. When in hindsight, you actually watch both shows, Corey actually says, you know, he sees Anton's views and things of that sort. You feel me? So I think that he didn't really like Anton's views. Like, he seen that he was always kissing the ass of white men. That was his words. He's always kissing the ass of white men. So I don't think that he necessarily brought him on because he was a Christian and he was a married man. You know, I don't think those values even matter to Corey, because he never talks about those type of things. I think that was just a point for him to throw out there to use as a crutch, right? He brought that up to kind of like slight Anton, right? And I think that when he brought that point up, it made the people look at Anton differently as well, though. Even though if you haven't been watching the show, if you have been watching the show, you know, but if you haven't been watching the show and he threw that, you know, Anton was a married man and, you know, you brought this broad up here, it's still gonna make you look at Anton a little sideways, like, man, you kind of, you know, a dirty dude, and you contradicting yourself saying you're a Christian, but then you come to the man's show with somebody other than your wife. And like I said before, you know, he had allegedly flew this woman out, you know what I'm saying? And she thought that she was going to be on the show. And this is why I said that, like, you just never know how women are, especially women that's trying to get to the top, because women will do anything to get to the top, or they just mess with the winner altogether. Like, they see the dude at the finish line, they mess with him. They was with the dude at the start, but the dude that lost, they leave him and then mess with the dude at the finish line. And that is like history. That always, you know what I'm saying, happens that way. The winner gets the girl. And she actually said that she had nothing bad to say about Corey Holcomb. She wasn't mad at Corey Holcomb. And, like, I mean, you can play the card as if, like, you know, she was just taking a higher role, being a woman, you know, staying in her place, being somebody that's, like, you know, not punching down or, you know, targeting low-hanging fruit, whatever the case, whatever you want to call it, right? But in the real eye, in the keen person's eye, in the player's eye, and the person that actually knows women and knows how things go, like, she doing that because she really damn near choosing up. You know, she didn't have to say that she wasn't with Anton or not. I mean, you already being there is already making it seem like, okay, and you being behind camera. See, a lot of people didn't know that she was behind camera until Corey put that out there. And Anton was trying to dodge that, which I showed in the last video. Y'all go check that out. It's a lot of informative things that's in there. A lot of things you can kind of, like, you know, surgically nitpick, and you can see, because I put a lot of clips and I inserted a lot of clips, and you can see what the play was. But Corey is actually the one that exposed that she was there. She said that she was supposed to be on the show, and they asked her to be and then Corey, director or producer, later said, like, on camera, or not on camera, but you can hear him on the mic. He said, oh well, she was trying to be on the show. We asked her, did Corey know about it? She said no, and we was like, yeah, 9 times out of 10 he's not gonna put you on the show, because Corey don't just put anybody on the show. So she already knew what it was, right? And then Corey then again doubled down and exposed with the show that just happened this last Tuesday. He exposed that, like, all right, so, like, you know, you making this story whatever you want to be. Did you come out here on Tuesday with him, or did he fly you out to Vegas? You know what I'm saying? So I believe he said verbatim, oh, did he fly you out with him, or did you come out here on Tuesday with him, type shit? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people speculate that he probably, you know, got her around trip. He flew her out to Vegas. They went to LA to go do the show and stuff like that. She was trying to, you know, weasel her little way in and get a little camera time. She trying to start a little podcast, and, you know, she trying to broaden the spectrum. She want to be on the 5150 show, and she still said that in her rebuttal, in her response to Corey Holcomb, as well as saying that she's not mad at him for, and, you know, she said she was appalled that he called her the B word, but, you know, she still said that she had nothing bad to say about the brother. So I mean, me personally, obviously, it's coming off like to me that, you know, she don't mind instruction. She definitely don't mind getting called, you know, a bitch by a stranger. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I kind of took from it. And then she tied her segment up on her show by saying, like, you know, it was unsettling, but it still kind of sounded like she was open to coming to Corey Holcomb's show. You feel me? She didn't stand on anything with Anton or stand by her side on anything, right? With that rebuttal that she did. It's a very interesting situation. Now that right there is just ties into, you know, everything, the whole situation and why it started, it being about a woman and being about a broad. But on to the more serious situation that everybody has been saying that Corey Holcomb went a little bit too far on. Corey Holcomb actually posted this man's child which, Anton Daniels later on came on and responded to it, where he said, his daughter's going to be an Olympian. She's supposed to be in the Olympics this year. They're supposed to go to Great Britain. She's having social distress and psychological distress and stuff like that because of this video that he did and this live that he did, and he don't know if he can take her to these events anymore. It sounds like he's setting up for a lawsuit. A lot of people are saying, right? And I'm kind of thinking the same thing. A lot of people that I've watched have been saying the same thing. Salute to Tough Talking with Stino. I think it's Tough with Stino. Y'all go check him out. He got a good platform. Dana with the Data said the same thing. A lot of people are saying the same thing. And this is initially what people thought that Anton was going to do anyways if Corey would have hit him. Right? That's why he said step outside, because step outside can mean anything. This is why I'm going to play the whole full entirety of the Tariq Nasheed clip so y'all can see exactly what I'm talking about. But step outside can mean anything. Step outside can mean, all right, let's go off camera. Once we get off camera, man, we made millions. We're going to make millions off of this shit. This shit's going to hit 1 million. It's going to do a lot of clicks and views, I apologize about what I said and With the whoop, niggas gonna be copping pleas behind camera. Look, I ain't gonna go back in there because it's gonna mess up, the script. But salute, thank you for having me, and we gonna see where it goes at. You know what I'm saying? It could have been that outside. It doesn't necessarily mean that he was gonna throw hands with Corey Holcomb. Anytime a man says, like, I don't know nobody that's been to jail, I'm never gonna go to jail, and this and that, you know that he's not looking to fight, because, like a lot of people have been saying, if you fight somebody, especially out in public, you never know where that might go at. He might stab you. He might pull out a knife. You might take the knife from him, get the best of him, and stab him. You know what I'm saying? That got to be explained, but you're going to be in jail while that's being explained until you bond out or whatever the case may be. So it's a lot of circumstances that may happen that you might be in jail. So that ultimately told everybody that Anton Daniels wasn't going to fight or bust a grape, right? But for him to say that he don't know nobody that ever been in jail, well, Fleece Johnson pretty well, right? A lot of people have been bringing that up. He knows Fleece Johnson pretty damn well, more well than any man should be knowing Fleece Johnson. Like Fleece Johnson said that he was cute and this and that. I'll probably insert that in this video as well too. I gotta go dig up that video from the graveyard and I go find that and insert that.
And then people act like they don't understand that I like booty. So what? What is I supposed to do, bro? Huh?
I don't know. You tell me.
You don't know.
I don't know. I can't picture myself ever being in that situation.
But I'm just saying, for instance, you was in that situation.
I can't see it, please. I can't think about it.
You would tone me down.
What you mean?
Huh. More important, Wilder, you should know what I mean.
Listen, I just can't even picture myself ever being locked up.
Look, I ain't saying this to be disrespectful.
No. I don't think it's disrespectful. I think that it's.
I think you're cute, for real. But
Not me.
Yeah.
Not me.
Not even look.
Not me.
Good looking. Let's say it like that. If you was locked up, and we was locked up, I would talk to.
But yeah, Fleece Johnson said he was cute and stuff like that. He was on the panel with Fleece Johnson, or really face to face rather, with Fleece Johnson, and smiling and stuff like that. He done told multiple men, SMD, or they, sucking, blowing poles and stuff like that. Anton Daniels, to me personally, is a very questionable man. You know what I'm saying? He's one of them men that only have one child. Once upon a time, he probably, made a mistake, or he probably liked the coochie once upon a time. And now, throughout living his life, he done got into his feminine. Anton Daniels has a lot of feminine mannerisms. You feel me? He comes off as somebody that is very feminine, in my opinion, right? Those of you who are viewing this channel, those of you who view his channel, probably beg to differ. But to me personally, he seems like, he's an undercover brother. You know what I'm saying? No Eddie Griffin. Now, I will say this. Some of his talking points are, he has a lot of good talking points, but do I think that he believes all of his talking points and the things that he say? No, because he contradicted himself on saying that he's a Christian, but then he brought some, like a little, he was on some Martin Luther King shit. You saying, I have a dream, and then you sleeping with other women, you know what I'm saying, in the back doors and stuff like that, making backdoor deals and slighted deals. So he lied to the woman that he said he was a Christian, but he also lied to the woman about being on the show, right? Acting like he had pull to get the woman out there. You know, he committing adultery by having this woman there. I know he hugged up and kissed up on her, and they probably talking about what happened at the hotel and things of that sort. She may not have slept with this brother. She don't seem like she probably had to sleep with this brother. You know what I'm saying? He seems like Dana with the data said, a generous simp. You feel me? That's what the women would call him. He seemed like a generous simp. Like he would just give it away. You feel me? He comes off more to me like a very much so social and talkative incel type of dude. Like, yeah, you got a wife. You and your wife might not be seeing eye to eye. Yeah, you got a kid, so you're going to say that you ain't a part of that community. But, you know, bitches ain't really checking for you like that. You know what I'm saying? And he seems like he probably brought her out to be a beard more so. That's why I think that he was playing dumb when Corey was asking him them questions like, oh man, you know, if you bring a broad around, you know, this broad got to be explained for, like, this broad got to be, you know, like, you know, what's to this broad? Like, she got to be accounted for. Like, you know, is this your wife? Is this your girlfriend, your friend, your cousin? Who is this? Like, she got to be accounted for, because we know you got a wife, so who is this? Right? And he started moving around and like, oh no, you got to explain things, like try to be all articulate and, you know what I'm saying, socially advanced, socially, you know, like some certain niggas that try to like talk above people or like use big words and think that, you know, niggas ain't peeping to play. Like, if it's in front of you and you got any type of sense, you know what I'm saying, like nobody can like use no big words and use word salad to get around what you actually seeing with your physical eyes. Right? So that's what he tried to do. Like, no, man, you got to explain it to me and dumb it down because I'm a C student. Well, see, I might know what you're talking about, but then I might act like I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? It was one of them things. And Corey caught him in the act like, well, wait, hold on. You just said that you're going to play dumb pretty much. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, but you're going to act like you don't. So you playing dumb pretty much. Let's say, just say playing dumb. It's a short word. You just say a two-part word, playing dumb. That's it. That's all you're doing. You know what I'm saying? All of the word salad shit that you're doing is excessive, it's too much. And I think that, you know, it was bad potting on both ends, but like they was challenging each other's intellectual power for sure. And they definitely was challenging each other. Like, both of the niggas was peacocking. Let's just say that. Both of the niggas was like, you know, putting on some type of bravado for the females. It was all theatricals for the females. Corey didn't want to look bad in front of D, and he was trying to punk this dude in front of the chick that he was with Mika. And, you know, Anton Daniels was trying to already look good by flying Mika out and allegedly and bringing her to that show to be on that show to get the, you know what I'm saying, to get the panties. You feel me? Allegedly. So, and then to fly a woman out, pay this type of money, pay for her hotel, allegedly, you know, pay for her round trip, and you know what I'm saying, she coming away from DC all the way to Las Vegas. Y'all going to you know what I'm saying, LA. I'm pretty sure he bought food and things of that sort. They probably did go shopping. He always talking about being a millionaire, so you know he was gonna spend it, right? To do all of that just to get on the show for a man to be, like Corey Holcomb said in his words, sitting in your lap. To do all of that and have a man like right in your face, like, you know what I'm saying, up on you, pretty much trying to punk you and bitch you out. You either gotta stand up for your stuff, man, fuck that, man, let's go outside, pull one of them, right? Or you gotta, you know what I'm saying, like, be embarrassed, right? And I'm pretty sure it was both. He told the dude to stand up, go outside, which he wasn't gonna do nothing, and he was embarrassed when he left there. I'm pretty sure he was embarrassed, and that's why Corey Holcomb said, I know you gonna tell the, he was speaking to me, I know you gonna tell the nigga, you know what I'm saying, that's why Corey Holcomb was gonna beat your ass if you said that again. And she probably is eventually gonna say that, which was, it was really funny, because she probably is eventually gonna say that. And I don't think that she'll be around him too much longer. She gonna get what she need out of him and then, you know, skedaddle. But nevertheless, man, I'm gonna play y'all a little bit of what Tariq Nasheed said. And oh yeah, I'm gonna leave it at this. I'm just gonna play after this. I'll just play the clip, and then this will be the end of the video. And I'll come back to y'all with some more updates and some more news. Maybe I might upload another one tonight. Maybe it might be in the middle of the night or tomorrow all together. But yeah, a lot of people were saying, man, you know, Corey don't want to risk the bag. Corey don't want to risk the bag. Well, Corey risked the bag even more by not punching him, but rather posting a minor on his platform. It's already bad enough you done expose a nigga and mess up his little piece, his little side piece, because the side piece definitely look better than, the main course. Like the sides looking, you know what I'm saying, better than the main course. Like, yeah, I eat the macaroni and cheese, you know what I'm saying? That macaroni and cheese looking great. But I don't know about that chicken. That chicken look a little raw, a little undercooked. You know what I'm saying? That main course ain't really looking too, you know what I'm saying? So the main broad, she looking chewed up and chopped. The side piece look, she a little darling. She look good. And he already done messed that up and tore that up. So he exposed the side piece being there and then her not being accounted for. So Anton Daniels wasn't standing on it, bringing her up, unless she just a beard altogether. He just paying her to be around him and she a beard, as the wife could be. The wife just probably might be an ugly beard, but he probably went and got him a nice looking beard, paying her to be around, and she eye candy, right? Because when you in these social circles, high powered men want to see you around. Like what kind of women you dealing with? Okay, what kind of ass you get? You know what I'm saying? High powered men want to see you with high powered broads, or broads that are not normally accessible if you ain't got a type of funding, so to speak. And his wife is not that. She got a little divestment wig and look like a little throw-on wig or some shit like that. She don't look like she really keep herself up like that. She just probably a stay-at-home mom or something like that. Most niggas' wives look like that, but she really looked just toe down, though. I'm not gonna lie. She looked like she been through the ringer. And a lot of people were saying allegedly she was sick. So, for him to, expose your side piece and mess that up, that's probably messing up business. And also, on the sexual side, that's probably messing up, sexual activity for the brother, happiness or whatever, and release. And then to expose the man's sick wife and put her up there and talking about her own husband in a disingenuous way, in a negative way. And then the straw that broke the camel's back, to post his daughter, and say that his daughter looked like a little boy and his daughter ugly, right? And she's a minor. I believe she's in 12th grade. She's graduating this year. So it's a lot of things to make this brother go the extra mile. Like, man, nah, I gotta end this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about hitting this nigga in his face. I already called him out. I don't care about hitting this nigga in his face. I want to hit this nigga's pockets. Plus, my daughter need it. I need it. You know what I'm saying? This whole millionaire persona that he keep on throwing out. Yeah, I need it. Let me get that. And it's so ironic with the irony, it's so much irony in this, because he's actually, pretty much saying like, well, my daughter is having social distress and, psychological distress because she was watching this video. Mind you, this video is in LA. So I think it was like Corey probably had been live. Corey goes live like around 11 o'clock, 10:30 at, at the earliest, but 11 o'clock on LA time, right? Anton Daniels is supposed to be in Detroit, so you on EST time, you on Eastern Standard Time, so it's some hours, that is not there. So it's probably maybe about 1 or 2 o'clock where Anton Daniels is. So you telling me that, she looking for the Corey Holcomb show and watching the Corey Holcomb show. You can tell that he's kind of setting up the play, right? And the funny thing about that is as well, is he had the irony, which I say, he had on the bag chaser's hat, which is, I'm not gonna say it's corny, ain't no hater, you know what I'm saying? But he had on the bag chaser hat, and you chasing the bag, bro. You just, you know what I'm saying? You over here sitting up here lying, talking about your daughter was, distressed and stuff like that, and she didn't even see this show yet. You feel me? She probably don't even know that this stuff is even happening unless you tell her, or unless you talk to your wife and she overheard. She don't even know this stuff is happening, right? Unless you told her about the last situation that happened. But still, yet she wouldn't know that Corey was going live, right? So, that is what it is, man. It was a crazy show, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go check it out. Make sure y'all check it out. That's really my take on that, just that situation alone. Like I said before, man, I'm gonna play a little bit of Tariq Nasheed so y'all can see what the brother thinks about Anton Daniels. They already had their little fallout. just from when Anton Daniels was being a coon, you know what I'm saying? Just saying things of the sort of like black people shouldn't get reparations, and y'all black folks need to pay for this good air that we breathe in and things of that sort. And that's what makes a lot of people feel like Anton Daniels ain't even a black American. He has to be some form of tether or just using talking points from the far right. It really sounds like to me he's trying to be like a Charlie Kirk, or he's so Christian, and you have these far right wing talking points and things of that sort. You're trying to be a black Charlie Kirk, which is corny. It's not gonna work. We already have a Candace Owens that's doing that. So I don't see him taking the broad place. So it just was a disingenuous place that Anton Daniels was coming from just to begin with. And Tariq Nasheed got on his ass, you know what I'm saying? No pun intended, but Tariq Nasheed got on him and was saying like, this dude might not even be one of us to even be talking about, reparations. You're not even, you don't even qualify to get reparations. So of course you're going to say, black folks shouldn't get reparations and things of that sort. It's a really good, interesting video. I'm gonna let y'all hear it, man. Salute, man. I appreciate y'all coming to watch. Make sure y'all get in the comment section. Make sure y'all like this video and also share this video so it can get out to the masses and get out to more people. And nevertheless, man, remember, man, they said it. I'm speaking on it. I am Mr. Telescope. You are not watching the Telescope channel. But if you like any of my takes and things that I probably missed, points that I probably made that you agree with or you dislike, make sure y'all just get in the comment section and let me know, man. Give me that engagement. I love to, chop it up with y'all and talk with y'all. I'm not one of those people that's going to block you for a comment that I dislike. I'm not one of those people that's going to, be looking for yes man for everybody to agree with me. But I do like the engagement overall. So salute to y'all, man. Get in the comment section. Tell me what y'all think about this video. And Telescope, go.
Also, another thing he said when they were talking about jail, Anton said, I ain't been to jail. I'm never going to jail. I would never do anything that would put me in jail. I don't hang around niggas who've been to jail and all of that.
He know that. Did he just say he ain't got no friends that been to jail? Did he really say that? Yeah. Who the fuck ain't got people that went to jail that live in Detroit?
I can't.
The mayor went to jail.
But let's be very clear. When Anton got up talking about let's go outside, for cats like him, that's a stalling tactic. That's a stalling tactic. It's up, it's just gonna be up right there. All that, hey, let's go over here. Let's go over there. Let me take my shoes off. Hold on, let me get my coat off. When dudes do all of that stalling, Anton wasn't gonna do nothing. Let's be clear, all of that, let's go outside. You know what Anton was gonna do? Because he had his phone in his hand. He already dialed 9. He was just waiting to dial the 11. If they went outside, Anton would have dialed 911. Let's stop playing.
I have no sympathy for anybody. You get what you deserve. Wherever it is that you are in life, that's your bed, sleep in it. I don't care where you were born. I don't care where you come from. I see immigrants coming over here every day from third world countries, outworking you, outpacing you, and making you look bad. I don't care about your reparations. Listen, I don't care if you ever get it. As a matter of fact, I'm advocating against it because it's going to my dollar and make inflation go out of control. And so I don't want them to pay you. I don't want you to have nothing. Don't give these nothing. As a matter of fact, not only do I not want you to get nothing from reparations, I think that they should tax you for breathing.
But let's be very clear. When Anton got up talking about let's go outside, for cats like him, that's a stalling tactic. That's a stalling tactic. It's up, it's just gonna be up right there. All that, hey, let's go over here. Let's go over there. Let me take my shoes off. Hold on, let me get my coat off. When dudes do all of that stalling, Anton wasn't gonna do nothing. Let's be clear, all of that, let's go outside. You know what Anton was gonna do? Because he had his phone in his hand. He already dialed 9. He was just waiting to dial the 11. If they went outside, Anton would have dialed 911. Let's stop playing. You say I'm being biased? Well, no, I know Corey and those two. Those are my guys. I know them. Those are my guys. All right, those are my niggas. Yeah. So I know what to get down. And Craig, that's another thing. If something went down, they went outside and some fisticuffs started happening and Anton's security tried to jump in, Craig was up there, man. It would have been up. It would have been all the way the hell up, dude.
Care about no security out there like that? You think they care about security?
Yeah, Craig pulled up a little bit later on in it. But yeah, if it was something where it was all these people throwing down and these security guards jumping in and, man, please. But let's be very clear. Anton wasn't going to do nothing.
No.
He wasn't going to do nothing at all. We know his type. I know these types, dude. I deal with these dudes. I done been to court with them. Those types, these little shit-talking dudes. And listen, Corey had already had a situation up there where hands were thrown, people up there running their mouth saying slick stuff. Hands got thrown and then they ran and sued. You understand? So Corey has already had a situation like that. So I understand where Corey was coming from, trying to have restraint because You saw what dude was trying to do. Anton was trying to provoke so that hands can get put on him. You talk tough. The minute people put hands on you, all of a sudden you turn into full bitch mode. You talk all of that gangster shit. Dude, I see it. I done dealt with these type of dudes, man. So yeah, I'm telling you firsthand. I know how these little internet dudes who talk all that tough talk, man. When you call their bluff and slap their ears together, these turn into straight hoes. Straight up, they go put a thong on and go file a suit. You understand? Bitch made. There's a whole bunch of them out there. And I think Anton is one of them. He would have been the main one. He wasn't gonna bust a great. His energy is too bitch made. All of that. Dudes who kiss white ass like that, they ain't about that. That's the beta male shit right there. That shows you how much of a bitch dudes are. All that white ass kissing. You understand? You ain't gonna bust a grape. You've already shown you're subservient. You feel me? Anton went in there. And Anton went in there kind of sarcastic and snarky and trying to provoke a little bit. And allegedly, Anton had security there, some security. And he was in there talking a little slick. And then he, Gore was kind of calling him out for, Anton is a performative white tea ass kissing. That's what it is. Anton is a performative. He does that performative white tea ass kissing. He does that. He panders to that crowd. And I don't even knock the hustle, by the way. I don't knock the hustle. Anton panders to the white tea supremacist alt-right crowd, being the so-called reasonable black person who I'm not like the rest. Ain't no racism. The white people ain't bad. We don't need reparations. He's on that. Anton has explicitly said we shouldn't get reparations, and he's actively against it. He's went out of his way to say we shouldn't get reparations. And a lot of it is performative. Many people say he's a tether. Nobody knows exactly where his background is. I know he carries himself like a tether. He claims to be from Detroit. I think some people think he's Nigerian. It's not definitive. He's saying he's not FBA. He said he was African. He thought he was Nigerian. Yeah, nobody can give any definitive answer on where his background is from. I know he said some of that, black immigrants come over and do so much better than black people here. So I've heard him say that, and usually tethers say that. You understand? You said you're in Detroit and he's FBA. Yeah. You what, Lexi? Okay. But he's okay. All right. His mother's Jamaican. Okay, I don't know. It's up in the air. No, I don't know about that. I don't know about his mother's Jamaican, Panamanian. I've never heard him say he's Nigerian, so I don't know. But he could be a tether. He talks like a tether, acts like a tether. But he does that performative, white tea kissing thing. All right, that's your hustle, that's your bag. But all of that being from the D, being from Detroit, he's probably in the suburbs of Detroit somewhere, but he's not a Detroit cat. Detroit don't really rock with it.